I have been promised an absolute banger. And you know what? When Corvinus promises a banger, he tends to deliver like he's a midwife in a ward here. We hop into Dry Arabia for an Abbasid Dynasty French showdown against a very talented player over here. Pause button is actually, pause champ, Sassy. Top-ranking Turkish player, unless Kazva comes and steals that title away again. He's on the grind. He's definitely working towards it. But right now, I think it's fair to say that Sass is the highest-ranking player from Turkey here. Going up against the... oh, wait. Corvinus, you're still the highest-ranking player from Hungary, right? I don't think Myriad's taken that title away from you. Wait, you played a lot of Age of Myth back in the days? Dude, Age of Myth was my jam. One of the best campaigns in the history of RTSs. I'm very much hyped for the upcoming Retold edition. Myriad noob? Jesus, it sounds like I need to get a show match going between you two. Oh, so French versus Abbasids. That's one we haven't seen in quite some time. Back when we used to see it frequently, I want to say it was... I think it was a long time ago. It was French favored, right? Because the TC escalation into... No, I'm... A very, very long time ago. But I think last time both these civs was meta, I'd still favor Abbasids there. Even that far back. Now, I would still favor Abbasids. Because the thing is, military wing's really dominant on the opening. And then that puts the French behind. Because they have to react to the military wing while you're going second TC. And although 2 TC will produce quicker for the French, you're a civ that spends more resources on your units in general because you build knights, right? Meanwhile, the Abbasids spend less on villager production, rather, with fresh foodstuffs, giving that discount of 35%. And then they're able to easily add in a camel that counters the entire idea for France. Yeah, this is a scary matchup. I'm curious what Sassy's way out is. And oh my god, dude, this spawn is dirty. It's good and bad, right? Because you got double deer on the ford, but it's on the ford against military wing. So what? He has to go berries, maybe? Okay, my brain is racking a bunch of thoughts here because I'm seeing... Wait, what the... Corvinus, dude, time out. You promised me an entertaining game, and now I see you queuing Eco Wing. This is literally just going to be a TC race, isn't it? Eco Wing versus French. I mean, I will say, is that meta? But that would involve France getting picked, so there isn't really any meta there, right? Intriguing. Well, the thing I thought he might try to do is Trade Wing, which would have been wild. Like, it's a good trade post. The problem is you can't do Trade Wing against the French. It's impossible due to knights. It sucks, right? Like, if you try to trade against knights on a map this open, you have to wall it first, and that takes way too long in the other game. The Eco Wing, intriguing. So what, this should be second TC on the stone, third TC on the golden deer. Oh my god, dude, what is that spawn? Yeah, push them in. Push them. Just push it. No, don't push them away. I can't tell if Corvinus is trying to shove deer or if he's trying to roleplay as a deer right now. Alright, we're back. So is this 2TC fast castle then? Like, are you just going to TC drop the gold? That's a possibility here. The stone is ford, right? So if you TC drop here, you get a pressure point straight away. This is on, like, the side. And if you drop a TC here, it's like, it's almost uncontestable. It's actually dirty how good it is. Other side of this, I'm wondering if you're going to be mirrored. Because I feel like if this turns into a peshing contest now, it's an easy win for Abbasids, right? So Sassy has to go 1 TC all in. He can't rush second TC. And yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with the way that Corvinus is grinding right now, his games are probably going to be quite unorthodox, as Corvinus is currently doing a 50-game challenge where he plays a civ for 50 games straight. So you can imagine that doing the same build over and over again will get very boring for him. So he's probably going to do something to try and keep this quirky. We have got Fertile Crescent coming through, which give him the 30% discount, so this TC is going to be ultra cheap. He's not just going to mass TC, right? I mean, you could. I don't think esports has enough cocaine for that, but you could. Okay, so second TC on the tree line. All right, this is officially weird. Unless you're going for a third for the go. Because now, I mean, the deer is shoved in. This is perfect for gathering, right? You don't want to mass archers. You're going to try to mass spears. But your sheep count isn't crazy, right? Yeah, 11 is okay. It's not out of this world. Berries are starting to be blocked as well. So we do need to see a Rax drop ASAP here. What is he going to do? All right, chat, get your guesses in on what Corvus' strategy is here. Because usually I ask you guys like ones or twos for who's going to win. I think sometimes it's more interesting to kind of gauge people's thoughts on what they'd expect the strat to be. I'll throw my mind. Dude, I just watched a Fae game. Like, come on. My mind is already thrown. I put my brain in the bin like half an hour ago. It's coming in. So Sassy, he came into this, he's like, orderly game. Pretty standard stuff. Me build knights, you defend. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've done this a million times. I've got God knows how many hours in AoE 4 at this point. Wait, are we actually... Are you just going to mass archers while kiting? That's so weird. But you've got no gold, so you can't get blacksmith tech, right? So if Sassy now just goes undermesh straight away, you're in trouble. Wait, he is doing camel archers, isn't he? Oh, I know it. I freaking know. I didn't want to say it because it's against French knights, which in theory is like not a bad civ against camel archers because they go French knights and go archers. It's legit camel archers, yeah. So I have been nerding out about how I think camel archers are underrated in general, but a lot of that revolves around the idea of water maps, right? Because on water maps like Kawasan, Four Lakes, you can afford so many camels. This is a little bit different. It is going to be expensive, but in theory, you should be able to get enough camel archers together to push away. And we have got the horseman follow-up. Okay, so this is cool because now you have a front line for the camels. This is usually the thing that I don't like is people try to mass camel archers straight away, and you have nothing to block the knights. So like, even though knights have 20% less damage, they're still going to kill a camel archer, right? Now, horsemen are this much more substantially chunky front line because of how little damage the knights do. And it gives you a perfector up against the archers afterwards. Whoa. It's not expensive food-wise. It got buffed. You're only spending 170 food now. It was such a weird buff. Like 10 food off. Like you just, then the crowd goes wild. Woohoo! That's one extra camel archer every 24 camel archers. And we have also got the Rax drop. I think that one's a bait. Like the positioning of the Rax makes me think it's more of a bait. All right, maybe not. Spears are on the way. But you know your opponent's going to have archers. Okay, this is getting weirder. We now have horsemen. You've officially taken Sassy off the beaten path here. He's in Weird Town Central. So the reason why camel archers are so good against knights, by the way, guys, isn't just because of the fact that you give the camel unease. It's the high base damage. 12 damage is quite high for a mobile range unit. Farms this early. So that's intriguing, actually, yeah, because Eco Wing isn't usually taken for the farm transition, it's taken for the free TC build, right? But we have to remember that right now, Corv, he's not paying the full 75, right? He's only paying 50 free wood per farm. So basically, like every fourth farm is free almost, which is a pretty good exchange. Add in the fact he's now got the Golden Age kicking in, which is inflamed by the 15% gathering rate. You've got a fairly cozy position, and if Sassy doesn't try to go for a blacksmith soon into Siege Works, or Siege Engineering rather, I think he's in trouble. Oh, this takes so long as well. Wasting your time torching houses of the Abbasids. Remember, they have +5 fire armor. They do not die quick. Wait, Sassy, where are the archers? Oh, no, he misrallied them. He only has one archer on the forward. He could lose units in retreat here. He does at least have chivalry, right? So the knight should be protected. A bit dicey, though. It's like overextension coming out. Nice micro there. Coolness. He's just kind of bracing, front lining with the spears. He's going to be a clash in here. And the debuff, you see the impact it's having here, right? The spears lasting a lot longer than they should have. Now target on the backside. Horsemen wrap around on the archers. It's going to be a force back here after he loses all the infantry, but overall not a bad trade for a guy who now has a 12 eco lead. And a lot more farms coming. And this is the thing that was missing, right? Like if Undermesh was there sooner, the Camel Archers don't hurt as hard here. It's still a little bit tough though, and I'm wondering, is Corvinus's goal just to trend towards mass camels? The logic being is that you put cheaper units in between, and each fight you come out with more Camel Archers, right? Because the logic is that your infantry will always die, but your cavalry will always retreat. So you're throwing away the poor units and building the good units over time. That's really smart because you can't scale Camel Archers straight away. They're way too slow. They take 35 seconds. Over time. It's kind of like what we talk about with hand cannoneer builds in the late game, right? You should never rush 40 hand cannoneers. You trickle them in. You add 10. And then you take a fight. And at the end, you've lost all the men at arms, but you still have the hand cannoneers. And then you add in another 10. And gradually, you build to this premium comp in not only an efficient time sink way, but also a sustainable way on your economy. Watch out again. Sassy. It looks like he was actually clicking on the horseman at first there. It just never feels like Sassy has the archers he should for these fights. Spearman again getting a good trade. And once again, that Camel on ease is making this so difficult to contest. Camel Archers not going to be able to target down the injured. Good micro there. Sassy pulls away the heavily injured ones. Front lines with the good. So, you know, bad situation to a certain degree for Sassy, the way he's throwing away archers, but he is still contesting the knights. And this is important because Corvinus, if he's not careful, he's going to get to a desperate point where he overextends to try and finish a knight, and he loses camels for it. But if he keeps this right and continues to trend up towards like 13, 14 camel archers, it's going to be very easy to target down these knights before they can be pulled back. No, you can't build spears if you're Sassy here, because if you build spears, the camel archers disintegrate them. I disagree. Like, what Sassy actually needs is forward production. Like, why his archery range is all the way back here instead of here on the deer, right? Like, his issue is getting enough troops to the enemy base quick enough. That's what's killing him. Phalanx wasn't even in before, by the way. It's only coming through now. Villagers, an ambitious wall here. Wait, but this could put Sassy out of position. There's not many spears right now, though, so he doesn't care. Knights dive in. A good move here from Sass. An opportunity to peel back that eco lead. Look at that. Sweet time on the retreat. Gets away before the spearmen come in for the crunch. However, why are the Camel Archers not defending? Because they're attacking. Wait. Where's the food of Sass now? He's got berries in the back. That's kind of it. So if he loses control of the front side of this base, he's starved. Damn, what a raid coming in from Corv. A ballsy one as well. When you see this many knights in your base, to make a dive like that, it's a dangerous choice to make. One that might pay off, though. Camel Archers are still hunting. Archers are now reacting. Knights need to be diving before Spearmen get together. And this is where Corv would probably benefit from 2 Raxes behind. He's got too much full production, right? Like, his troops are getting heavily injured or killed before they actually get back towards the TC. Also, a golden opportunity now for Corvinus to garrison the TC for extra arrow fire, right? If the dive is going to happen. Game's becoming a little bit tricky for Sassy. I mean, the eco lead is now almost up to 20, right? And remember, the farm's already set up. So, like, the issue that Sass has is over time, he's going to have to get more risky and more wide on where he gathers food. Whereas Corv can remain condensed. And Corvinus doesn't need gold, remember. His whole comp doesn't use a sliver of it. Camel Archers are food and wood. Spearmen, food and wood. So this is very smart, right? Like, the wood isn't likely to starve him out too soon. He's still got the retract on the backside. And this area is really easily wallable. Notice that detail from Sassy as well. He thinks it's going to be a tech up. Like, this is why this horseman's here. He's paranoid that Corvinus is going to hunker down now and go castle. And yes, Kazva. Pause button is Sassy. And Sassy says it's time to go. He clicks his fingers in a sassy way. He says, ram time, baby. Camel Archer count has been depleted, right? Like, it's gone, I think it's 12 at one point, 13, now down to 9. Knight count is about mirrored, but Archer count is looking good now, right? Like, mass archers is the counter to everything Corvinus is doing right now. Still, sassy retreats. We have got the extra production coming in. Is it me, or is Sass falling behind on that sphere, right? Like, he has, what, 2 each, and then... Sorry, no, 3 archery ranges, and then 2 cav, right? Meanwhile, we've got, what, 3 archery ranges, 2 racks, 1 cav. You could probably be going up to 4 racks here. Clash in the mid-map, though. Once again, remember, the whole strategy here is lose the spim and keep the camel archers. And because these archers have to go off the spears, it means the camels can somewhat trade. Cool. Once again, backing up. Sassy, a decent position now if you can start to stranglehold. These farms are still the biggest problem. I almost feel like Sass needs to pull 2 knights and go around. Instead, we continue this dance around the front. Golden Age first food tech. The first food tech doesn't give a gather rate buff. It just makes them cheaper, remember. So no, it's nowhere near ball gathering rate. But Golden Age is allowing him to contest roughly what Deer would do. Survival Techniques is putting Sassy a bit further ahead. But Survival Techniques has its limitations, right? There has to be hunt to gather. Farms are eternal. 15 camels. Fitz would be proud, man. March in. Camel Archer's just trying to stick to it here. Nice pinch from one of the knights. I think Sassy's starting to panic a bit. This is a lot of camels, a lot of firepower. And Spearmen once again become the butt of the joke, right? The defender to hold it back while the Camel Archers start to retreat. Good God. A lot of units being held in the abyss. But what I'm noticing is this is becoming more about archers, less about knights. And this is where Corvinus is going to sneak the killing blow, isn't it? Scaling horsemen. This is dirty, man. Oh, you mean Futek. Got you. Deer also being gathered. So this did creep back into the picture. This is very important, right? Corvinus needs a lot of food now if he's going to pump mass horsemen. It's a big if, though. So far, we're not seeing much. Just one stable still. Wait, what the Corv, what are we... You can't feed your people gold. I just want you to know that. Right, you're not Genghis Khan. It doesn't work that way. I think he's legit planning to go castle. Which is kind of wild. I think you could win this in feudal, right? In fact, he's winning it right now. Look at this. Military lead has flipped. Oh my God, an overextension Sassy. He doesn't have the archers anymore. A lot of these camel archers are heavily injured. It just doesn't matter. The gap closes too fast. The trades are not beneficial. And this game may quickly come to a close now. The delicate dance leading to one inevitable outcome here. Camel Archers now stand their ground to trade out against the Archers. The Spearmen are no longer being finished off fast here. Knights have been removed from the equation. It is now a 30 eco lead and a tech up on the way for the Hungarian. It's the snowball, right? Camel Archers compared to Archers shouldn't ever win that, right? It's a very expensive exchange, almost 3 archers for every 1 camel archer. The difference, though, is if you ever have that numerical lead, there's no running away from this. It is a plague upon your retreat. And Corvinus now proving to be a scourge upon Dry Arabia. Military wing just a minute and 10 seconds away. Sassy has one more pump at this, but it's going to feel more like a dump. I don't see how you're ever going to win this now, Sassy. Yeah, looking back, I think his issue was reinforcing. Just so often he would try to go towards the enemy base and just be about 5 archers short of what he'd need to break it. Yeah, maybe the micro could have been a little bit more on point as well. I feel like sometimes low health camel archers were getting away, but that's something easily forgiven in these messy fights. fact, can you even contest this the moment the tech up completes? Because Sassa's almost out of food now, right? Red is like, he's dry. He's got berries and that's it. He's playing boar? Good God. If this even gets sniffed for a second, which remember, you can see boars dying through the fog. Like, this is GG. Like, you lose this, is done. And yet, Corv, what the f... Please just go him. Right now. He doesn't even get a chance!